Hey guys! Psycrafter here. Today I am back with Anime versus Reality. Gonna be finishing off Easter Day with movie number 2 because there is 2 movies and they're actually better than I remembered. Before we get into that though, I want to announce some birthdays. As of when this is a recording, I think it was today. It was either today or tomorrow. Is Shiro's birthday? No, yeah, tomorrow's Shiro's birthday, and then on the Monday we actually have 2 birthdays of different characters. Uh, Rena Rugu from Higurashi and Yang Xiaolong from Ruby, which has an anime now, so technically it does count as counting as a yeah. The most bizarre things happen. Anyway, getting into the episode, I'm starting off with a point that I mentioned at the end of the previous podcast because my notes bled so well. I practically lost track. So we're catching up with Akira as he's on the plane back to New York with Saki. And on the plane back from New York, Akira has a dream where his phone turns into his interpretation of a Johnny and jumps on his face and crawls inside his ear, which makes Saki terrified by Akira's sudden outburst. And the hostess comes over with an Air King shirt, making sure he's like, "Are you okay, mate? Are you good, sir?" And then it goes straight to the opening credits, where we get a lot of quotes from Shakespeare's King Lear, which again, it's interesting the references that we get throughout this, like we get stuff that's like modern, and then stuff that's like old fashioned. It's an interesting blend of references, sort of matching with Akira because he does reference old movies along with more present movies. Akira actually decided to wear the Air King shirt, which now looks super insulting since he's talking to the EM's wife, Chigusa Numa. Behind closed doors, Chigusa asks what Akira had to do with yesterday's missile incident and who he is. Knowing that he was supposed to be one of the targets of that attack means to her that he is working with the terrorists. It's like, what? Although that belief is built off the twisted lie of Daiju created for the news to report on. Chigusa's plan to expose Akira for the liar he is to get his DNA tested by pulling some hair from his head. It's like, yeah, that's reasonable. They just have to yank it from the guy's head, though. Unable to go anywhere for the time being, Akira asks Saki to find his mum, remembering he saw her last on Careless Monday at Aonomo Yokocho Station. In fact, it might be the woman that was walking with the mini Shiba he owns now, which would explain how immediately the dog how friendly the dog was immediately to Akira. Before leaving Saki for her mission, leaving Akira for her mission, he gives Saki the gold ring from the merry-go-round, which he made into a necklace as a memento of their time in New York. It's like, when did you have the time to do that between flamethrowers, multiple people hunting you down, racing down down highways, just to get immediately onto a plane? When did you have the time to do that? Do you just carry string with you? The airport is filled with people all there to see the return of the Air King to Japan, and Saki meets up with Asugi. Saki goes to tell Kozomi to start looking for Akira's mother, but before doing so, Asugi downloads Airship onto a phone list. Asugi explains that their phones were tapped, thinking that the police want to frame the Eden Company for the missile attack. It's like, I guess that could make sense considering that it's an app that's like, you literally take photos and all that, and it tells you stuff. She gets more details from Kozomi, saying that they have to use the old system to stay hidden from the police, followed by a call to Asako for the Mini Shiba. We'll learn the Mini Shiba's name soon enough. Asugi rolls up with the car and has done an image search of the Mini Shiba in the old Eden system, finding that the dog had been considered missing since Careless Monday. Seeking refuge in the bathroom to check the phone logs, he finds out that Daiju had the police secretly investigate the Eden Company, and he's worried that he'll attack Juice again. This is Akira. In trying to find a way to slip security, Akira's fortune is looking up when one of the NEETs just so happens to be in the bathroom and sort of looks like Akira at a glance. Switching clothes with the NEET and telling him to cover his face, Akira slips security when he receives the Airship file. It's like, damn, he just casually walks out. I love how casually he walks out because, oh, there's a person there. Akira's logs keep up their job of recording the steps taken to make him the next Prime Minister of Japan, with an office, business cards, and a strategy called buying votes, which is sort of illegal, I think. He calls Kozomi, figuring he knows more about his own situation, and wants to figure out how to secure his own Juiz. Handing the phone over to Itazu, Akira is glad to hear he's okay, but Itazu's like, cut the chit chat, we gotta get straight to the point about knowing number 12 bought gasoline and drivers, but not about having them drive on the expressway forever. So he tracked them through every camera. It's like, Itazu is just that smart. He knows the game plan. Right now, the trailer with Akira's Juiz just passed through the exit at Kawasaki Yukishima, with a near need to switch drivers and fuel up soon at Yumi Hotaru, which is like a giant, like, sort of, it's like a gas station, like a truck station it's centralized on the water. It's really interesting. I would love to go and visit that place. It's just like a nice little, like, truck stop location. With, like, with shopping. Without much of a plan or memory, Akira will try to reach Yumi Hotaru, but not before Kozomi notes that Akira really has something ever since public security started after them. Kazumi says he'll go to Yumi Hotaru as well, as the two plan to meet there, with Akira convincing a guy to give him his bike. It's like, how convincing do you have to be to not really steal a bike? Like, it's not stealing, it's willingly handing it over. At Shibuya Crossing, Saki meets up with Ryosuke and the Minishiba, who are happy to see her. And meanwhile, Jintaro has his own interaction with someone on the phone about a meeting he set up between Ro and his phone mate to deliver some goods to him. He also checks out the news to see what's going on with his Akira plan and how the message on the back of the shirt was basically saying the missile came from abroad. Saki's search for Akira's mother leads her to a Thailand public house, and conveniently the next person to step outside is her, with the Minishiba, whose name is actually Angelica, the nickname Annie, running up to her. It's like, it's a cute reunion. One that's definitely gonna get out of hand quick. Inside, the lady states she can't be Akira's mother because childhood memories are unreliable. Asking if the lady had been to New York and specifically stayed at the Gramercy, connecting Angelica's name to the movie theater of the same name nearby. But the lady's just like, that's a coincidence. How would I know of this place enough to name my dog after that? Following up with a question of if she had a child, she annoyingly answers she might have once. It's like, being a bit fake here. Saki shares a story about Akira's past, and the lady has a sort of knowing when she sees the ring Saki is wearing. But it's only when Osugi goes to the bathroom that he discovers that the lady was pregnant in New York and even has the same kind of ring Saki is wearing on a similar kind of necklace. So that one choice of Akira giving her the ring on a necklace is what's basically confirming it. The real damning evidence is that the guy behind the lady is actually Prime Minister Enuma, meaning Juiz didn't even have to fake anything, because it might be true. It somehow, in some way, like, Juiz discovered the truth. Which just adds to the layers of, like, insanity going on in this story. The rumors of Akira actually being Inuma's son have reached Daiju and his partner, and thanks to the shirt cooked up by Jintaro, countries are approaching over the son of a hawkish PM, saying the attack was from a foreign nation. Making a call in the elevator, Daiju asks someone to investigate Inuma's past, but that person has already done the bulk of the work since PM Inuma kept the room paid up. With that done, he puts in a request with Juiz to call the Regional Tax Bureau's Criminal Investigation Division. That's a mouthful. But it's interrupted when he sees that number 9 is at Yumi Hotaru. Meanwhile, over at said place, a bunch of similar looking ladies have dinner while the trailer drivers have a break in the rest area. One of the ladies gets a message from someone named Grandfather, and just telling him to keep the game running and not interfere with a request. Apparently they're neither Juiz or Sadako, just the kids who shag the baseballs. not an inappropriate saying, because it just means they catch the fly balls in the outfield. The Jewish proxy, first introduced in the anime, is worried about number one's itchy trigger finger with the missiles. They all notice that Sadako number 9 is snooping around their trucks, who is currently meeting with his Jewiz. While Akira has this conversation with Jewiz, Daiju suddenly requests his trailer to be moved, so Akira decides to steal his own Jewiz to stick close to number one's Jewiz. Kazumi, Mikuru, and Purple Lady are also getting in on the chase as soon as they U-turn at Yumi Hotaru. So we've got 2 trucks and a vehicle and a chase. An odd request from number 3 pops up on the log saying "sweets for Saito," meaning Ato. Daiju sees this opportunity to piggyback this request with a message for the sweets parlor. Meanwhile, Ro gets his deal from Jintaro's friend, which is a gun and a new fake passport that states Ro is not Japanese anymore. The lady, the Thailand lady, wants to close up shop, but Saki orders 2 more mango lasses, which they might not get with some of Daiju's men showing up. At the same time, Mikuru and Itazu talk about the detailed log from number 3, knowing Ato is in Tokyo, while she lives in Fukuoka. Haru interrupts the conversation to say that public security might be on their tail, and the very room they're using as base of operations was previously used by a group of extremist students. Oh, now you tell us. Leaving the potential for them to be framed as a terrorist group. It's like, thanks for telling us that at the worst possible moment. You absolute fool. At that exact moment, the police show up to arrest them, but Haru is ready for this situation with his desk hiding spot, which is not in the desk, but actually under the desk, leading into a tunnel dug by that exact same extremist group. So it's the potential of them being framed like that is way higher now. Itazu is not proud of having to use the tunnel, but anything to escape the police, right? It's like, you don't want to get framed as criminals when you're not. You're trying to actually save everyone. Kazumi catches up with Akira, who tells him to snag Daishu's truck and drive it. However, Kazumi can't drive heavy vehicles, and also Megura is too young to drive. Luckily, Purple Lady has a heavy class license, so she drives Juiz number 1 with Mikuru on board, and Kazumi chasing both trucks in his car. It's like the final convenience of Purple Lady at the very end of the story. It's like, we had this character for ages. We haven't had her do anything. I know. Let's let her have a full-on... Let's let her have a heavy vehicle license. On Saki and Osui's quest, the lady lets them know about the men outside, and that there's a window in the storage closet by the bedroom, or by the bathroom. It'd be weird if there was a bedroom. They can escape through, that she decides to leave through first. And also, Haru and Itazu complete their tunnel escape, while Saki escapes through the window, with Usui staying behind to deal with the men watching the store, pretending to be an employee of the sort. It's like, nice try, but you're gonna get beat up. Juntaro thinks he's close to winning against Daiju, even without his phone. Only to see that Daiju made a call to the IRS on him. It's like, damn. Guys, but... back over with Haru and Tazu, they're hiding out in an internet cafe, trying to figure out the connection between number 3 and Nato, and noting that Daiju put in a request for a message with the sweets. Kazuomi takes the message seriously enough to split from Akira and Purple Lady, knowing full well of the danger. Because it might not be an actual, message, it might be a bomb. Saki manages to catch up with the lady with the photo in hand, finally nailing the right combination of words and emotions to get her talking. The lady believes that money is the great equalizer of everyone, and that's what she would tell her son. With money being the topic, Saki explains how Akira is in the situation of being able to use 10 billion yen in whatever way he wants to save Japan, but has never spent a yen on himself. You know, except for the the plum bubblegum at the very start of the story. He did spend that money on himself. Technically. Also, the plum bubblegum he spent on himself. So, your statement's wrong. The lady says that Akira can't be a son due to his selflessness, and to handle the situation herself. Like, the plum bubblegum, though. It's a plot point that's just forgotten. I guess it could be explained by the fact that she didn't see him buy the plum bubblegum, I guess. And was it really for himself, or was it just... he was just testing the purchasing? It's like, he might have just been like, I want to pay for this just to see how the system works. Meanwhile, Asugi did catch up with that, and he's like beat up. Akira has driven his Jewish truck with Purple Lady following him to the Inuma household. Saki considers calling Akira to say she found his mother, but she's worried she'll lose Akira forever. Suki comes up with the idea to go to Akira's location and tell him the truth in person, which is a good idea. It's like, you don't want to lose someone, it's better to just do that. Chigusa is annoyed with Akira's disappearance at the airport and him showing up in a trailer truck, matching the type of truck the government attacked, asking what's going on. It's like, why are you showing up in the very truck that was blown up? You're trying to blow me up now? He insists on not being a terrorist, explain the story in a way that makes him sound like a terrorist. It's like, I'm not a terrorist, but everything that happens makes me sound like one. Which is just funny. When Chigusa asks about why this plan, Akira states that he never intended to become the Prime Minister's son, just to be the king of the country to be able to support people having a rough time. Akira believes that if he becomes king, everyone will dump all the responsibility on him and complain about him, but since the request was accepted, he could do nothing, or he could do something. Chigusa says he'll have less power than a terrorist, but all Akira wants to do is punch Eto in the end. It's like, he doesn't care about the game. He just wants to win the game to punch a guy in the face. Daiju shows up to talk with Akira, leaving the DNA test results secret for now, because the DNA just showed up at the perfect time as Daiju. Kazuomi finds the Adafuji sweet shop, having to follow the worker delivering the sweets to Ato. In the mansion's study, Daiju admits that Akira has outsmarted him at every point of the game, and is impressed Higa's due is to like him. However, Daiju still asks if Akira will willingly withdraw from the game, explaining how he has wanted to change Japan even before being a bureaucrat and getting the phone. The sweets worker didn't go too far, delivering it to a taxi, which Kazuomi approaches to ask if the driver is Ato. Entering the taxi, Ato asks how Kazuomi would use 10 billion yen, but instead of answering, Kazuomi asks back if that's how Ato selected the Salako. Kazuomi continues his questioning, asking what the goal of the game is. At the same time, Daiju talks about what he said to Ato about the 10 billion yen question, saying that Japan needed to go on a nationwide diet, make Japan small and light on its feet. Daiju didn't intend for the missiles to be a way to temporarily emasculate the government, just anything to put pressure on the nation, so it was an accident? We're saying it was an accident when it... Okay. Apparently Akira and Yuki helped Daiju with the dirty work, which annoys Akira because why didn't Daiju say that in the first place? It's like, if I had all the information at the start, yeah. He had... Because, like, Akira had been acting on the knowledge that the Salako would be killed if they didn't win, but if he had been able to team up with the other Salako all along, better ideas could have been made. It's like, yes, the game doesn't really have to have one winner. You could, literally everyone could work together and win. Saki and Sui make it to the Unuma household, hoping to talk to Akira directly about his mother, but they can't really get inside. Akira is willing to back out of the game if Daiju becomes Prime Minister, but Daiju doesn't care about that, knowing the position is just a sacrificial lamb. Daiju's plan is to steal the freedom of everyone in Japan without them noticing, since they're incapable of deciding anything for themselves, followed by re-establishing the Home Ministry to change Japan from there. Getting a call from Saki, Daiju lets Akira answer the phone, where Saki explains the lady she found, whose name is Iwashita, is his mother, even if she denies it. Aya was Unuma's lover back when he was a diet member, and that PM Unuma kept the hotel room paid up so Aya could live there freely. Akira remembers the moment when Aya showed him the power of money at an ice cream shop before just leaving, just abandoning him to live alone, which Mother of the Year is not going to her. Thanking Saki for helping him rediscover his past, he gets right back to business with Daiju, who's offering to match Akira's remaining balance as getaway money and clear his friends of suspicion to leave the game for good. With one last question to Daiju about the citizens of Japan, and getting a disappointing answer of disrespecting individuals, Akira decides to finish his game as a terrorist. For his next request, Akira asks Juiz to put him on a call to all of Japan, but says the call could drain his remaining amount, and he wants to have 100 million yen left. In order to have the 100 million yen left, Akira uses something he prepared earlier. He cooked this one up in the kitchen. Now he's ready to use it. Kozomi asks Ato what Akira's answer to the 10 billion yen question was, but he was never asked the question by Ato, only asking Akira for a newspaper and offering the phone in return. Akira didn't even want the phone. Not even really money for the paper, saying he'll get money from those subscribed to the paper, knowing they don't read it. Later on, Akira chats with Ato about practicing how to receive money as an adult, because it's easier to use money compared to bowing down to someone to receive it. Kozomi figures out that Ato was curious about how Akira came to his specific conclusion about people. Meanwhile, Haru gets a surprise call from Juiz for Akira's request to use Airship to connect all phones in Japan to the Eden system. Allowing this to go through, everyone suddenly gets the Airship app dropping into their phones and automatically downloading. It's like, oh, the ultimate invasion of privacy is about to happen. Starting the call to everyone, Akira implicates himself as the singular person behind Careless Monday and the other attacks. He distances himself from the Enuma by saying he did it to get everyone's attention before announcing a new terrorist attack. The plan is to assemble a crowd of young people beyond the 20,000 NEETs and leave with them for Paradise to destroy Japan's vital future workforce. His only demand for the older generations is to give up everything they have hoarded and join them in the journey of the new paradise. As a parting gift, he's leaving everyone 1 yen each in digital funds and a promissory note proving that what he's saying will happen. Kozomi thinks reason won't work with anyone in Japan, but Ato is moved by what Akira said, thinking over the game he has set up and how the world moved on before Japan had a chance to gain any depth to join them. Ato realizes that the true saviors of Japan are the history's losers, those that toil away in the background, leaving the world tainted by losers. By number 9 becoming a scapegoat for Japan, Ato declares him the winner of the game. Akira leaves the Enuma household as the terrorist of Japan, taking the DNA test from Chigusa. At the front door, Daiju chastises him for his dramatic method when Ato suddenly calls all remaining Sadako to tell them the game is over, declares them all winners, and wipes their memories, so it didn't matter anyway. Ato manages to kick Kozomi's butt out of the taxi for attacking him and drives off. Daiju, in a sort of brainless state, leaves in his car in a daze, only to get confronted by Ro, who didn't have his memory wiped, and pulls his gun on him after learning Daiju had forgotten him, causing Daiju to panic and run him over before crashing. But I think Ro actually survives this. Somehow, Akira was unaffected by the memory wiping sound, thanks to all his personal memory wiping before. Taking out the DNA test and reading it, he learns his mum has done a lot of crazy stuff, letting everyone else read he's not PM Illumina's son, so it wasn't true. Akira has one last thing to do before he returns to be with Saki for good. Saki proves she's the faster runner by catching up to Akira and kissing him, which makes Asugi faint and Mikuru probably happy. It's like, Asugi's like, no, my love. The movie ends with Akira disappearing to go punch Ato in the face for the game, and revealing how everyone feels about him and ending up going after the Sadako game. Akira's ball ended up becoming a paradise for everyone, despite him never showing up, which annoyed everyone, and also they're also eagerly waiting his return. It's like, the guy's a terrorist, why would he show up? Companies did start obeying Akira's demand, but slowly fell back into old ways. It's like, yeah. The Eden Company has recently closed their doors for the time being and relocated to Toyosu to join the NEETs to create a more user-friendly system. The series ends with Akira finding Ato's cab, climbing into the front seat and hitting Ato with a shoe before just having a pleasant conversation. It's like, I guess it's not a punch, but he got what he wanted in the end. And that's where the movie actually ends. So, honestly, this movie, I have some issues with it, but not as many as before I started covering the movies. My one big issue was the fact that it was 11 episodes and then the 2 movies. It's like, you can't even get to 12 episodes? And I thought the movie had a lot more recap than it did. And, the first movie had some recap, but it was only recap of the end of episode, what happened right after episode 11. So, it's really bizarrely no recap. So I sort of have to change my opinion of it a little. It's actually, once you really pay attention to the details, it's a lot more fun. And that's what I do here on the podcast. I pay too much attention to the details of movies and anime. Anime and anime movies. But for now, this is going to be the end of the podcast. Links will be in the description to both the channels and the Twitch videos. Go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding. I'm Psycrafter out.